You know, I never trusted this guy. Chapter 5 festival got very twisted for some people from very early on, and it's all thanks to this guy. We always knew that he was a Golner, and none other than one of Gaster's followers. But what are these people exactly? That's exactly what we'll be seeing here today. Before we start, if you're liking the video, I'd really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe. Your support means a lot to me. I recently uploaded a video going over some of the weird stuff happening on Chapter 5, and why I do believe on the Chris Amalgam theory now. Go and watch it after finishing this video. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, what do we know about them? They are very aware of Gaster's existence, and they're all creepy and malformed, and just like Gaster, or maybe, thanks to Gaster, they ended up just like this. So, imagine my shock when some of the first NPCs we find in Deltarune are very clearly these guys. The way to get them or see them it's a bit convoluted. At the beginning of each Undertale run, a random number is assigned to a save file. This number goes from 0 to 100. If the save file gets a number 66, that's precisely how we get Gaster. But if we get instead a 61, 62 or 63, we get one of these guys. They are known in the files as Gaster followers, and they basically lure dump us all the information we currently have about Gaster. But some of these guys do appear on Undertale as non-Goners. This is Smiling Friends creator right here, the Ficus Licker, as is apparently named. He appears on Hotland at the Metaton Resort, and on Deltarune's Chapter 2, he's at Q's dinner deciding what to order. Nothing suspicious here. The Donut Guy Goner, the one who says that he's holding a piece of Gaster, it's right next to Muffet's pastry shop. He also appears on Deltarune at the start of Chapter 1 and on Chapter 2, stuck on the traffic. Nothing out of the ordinary here, until realizing that he and a bunch of monochrome cars are blocking us from going anywhere. But this might be just a game design thing. Another odd thing to mention, Toby said at the anniversary stream that he's proud of this character design, so Tricky Tony is now stating that he's proud of the design of the one guy holding a piece of Gaster. And I want you to focus on something on his design. The actual Goner who talks to Frisk, it's talking from the thing that the body is holding. Our next character is not listed as one of the Gaster followers. The Goner Kid appears with a fun value between 91 and 100. And he straight up tells Frisk about the existence of other worlds in a very creepy way.
Have you ever thought about a world where everything is exactly the same? Except you don't exist? Everything functions perfectly without you. The thought terrifies me. An umbrella? But it's not raining. You know, that does make me feel a little better about this. Thank you. Please, forget about me.
This monster kid is not listed as one of Gaster's followers. All Goners were created by Gaster, but not all Goners are Gaster followers. It seems like he laments the state he's currently in because he wasn't meant to exist, because Goners are just copies of pre-existing characters. I was also thinking that he was talking about Des, but I'm not sure if everything in Deltarune works perfectly without her. But the nature of the Goners gets weirder and weirder with our next character. The Clam Girl Goner appears only on console editions of the game. She was in fact added to the game near the release of Deltarune's Chapter 1. We can find her on Waterfall if her fun value is between 80 and 89.
My neighbor's daughter looks about your age. Her name is Susie. I feel like you two should be friends. You have a neighbor's blessing. Not knowing where I live is no issue. Fate finds a way. In life's grand scheme, she may be why you came here in the first place.
Now, at the end of the true pacifist route, while doing the backtracking through all the underground, if we talk to her again, she'll say the following.
So, you never met my neighbor's daughter? But please, don't despair, because the time that you will meet her is fast approaching.
To me, that quote just adds fuel to the underground is just a dark fountain theory, but that's not the main focus of this video. She changed color before disappearing, so does this mean that Goners can change their appearance at will? Are they like the Mandela catalog alternates now? The Goner's ability to shapeshift might explain why the follower number 3 resembles normal NPC just in shape. Normal NPC is trying to camouflage, but he's unable to change much of his shape. The Clam Girl also appears on Deltarune Chapter 2. She's at the lake, but when we try to talk to her, she turns into the Clam Guy from Hotland? So wait, what? So they can color shift? Most players will dismiss this as just a bug or something, but nothing is just a bug with these goners. Just know what they say, kids, stay alert among Grey. If we never checked on Onion in chapter 1, this clam guy will be very rude about her, calling her weird and a thing. Have you seen yourself in a mirror, dude? But wait, what happened with Onion? Thanks to the anniversary stream, we know a little bit more about her. It turns out that in Undertale, there were whole neighborhoods underwater for fish and aquatic monsters, and she's not even the strangest monster out there. I still confuse this thing for Withered Chica sometimes. She doesn't look that forgetful in Undertale. It's just as if something made her amnestic. Something on the lake maybe? But it doesn't just stop here. When she introduces herself to Chris, she says that she doesn't remember her name. We named her Onion because we already know her from Undertale, and now she has amnesia?
I know you're my friend, right? As my friends, you wanna, hear a secret? Sometimes I hear a song at night. Just a little piece of a song. You hear? It sounds like it's coming from under the water. Do you think someone's auditioning for my band? Oh, I'm about to make another friend. I can feel it. You hear? Do you wanna, hear another secret? I think maybe. I've heard that song before, coming from the sea. The whole thing. It's not a new song. But I can't remember. I can't remember, you hear? I'm going to investigate, you hear? Come back here tomorrow, you hear? Onion is on the case. That's my name, right? See you, mouse.
What happened to her? And you already know where I'm going with this. If we go to the lake next morning, she's never seen again, and we are met with normal NPC saying, don't wait, especially don't wait. Alright, so who is this freak? He is Gaster's follower number 3, also known as the hometown botcher. The only goner who doesn't have an Undertale doppelganger, and he says the following about Big G.
I understand why Oscar waited so long to hire a real scientist. The previous one, Dr. Gaster, his brilliance was irreplaceable. However, his life was cut short. One day, his experiments went wrong and... well, I needn't gossip. After all, it's rude to talk about someone who's listening.
Do you see why the fandom is calling him Gaster's best man now? He also appears in chapter 1 acting all suspicious. I love reading books, especially the books upstairs. You should really read them. In chapter 2 he'll move upstairs, allowing us to read some of the books. The soul has long been called many things. The fount of our compassion, the source of our will, the container of our life force. But even now, the true function of it is unknown. There's also a book on how to care for humans. There are photos of unfamiliar humans on the inside, and Chris shuts the book immediately. The card on the backside also reveals that Toril has taken out this book repeatedly in the past, most definitely when Chris was a small child. And if we try to see the rest of the books, this damn bird won't move. What is his deal, and why does he say that he loves to read these types of books specifically? And if we assume that he's just repeating what someone else said, it gets even more disturbing. And what was he doing on Onion's spot the next time we tried to look for her? What did I do to her? And the next time we see normal NPC on chapter 5, he's selling octopus dog. Did he just chop her arms off? Some people say that this doesn't make sense, she would have turned into dust since she is a monster. But Deltarune monsters do not turn into dust, they bleed. Noelle and Susie do bleed, we've seen them. So either she's dead or she's missing an arm. She found something on the lake, the song she was talking about, and the governors got to her first. But wait, he's selling these dogs for 2 gold. 2 gold? Deltarune's monsters use dollars, and each Dark World so far uses dark dollars. What do you mean with gold? That's Undertale's currency. And if this guy is a parrot, and he's just repeating what someone else is saying, does that mean that someone who came from Undertale told him to sell Onion for 2 gold? But I have my suspicions that normal NPC, aka the hometown butcher, is not the only one murking people who knows too much. Have any of you seen Monster Kid or Snowy during the festival? We still have this evidence framing normal NPC who says that Monster Kid is not in the same boat, that maybe he was just a goner disguising his true colors, until he came to the bunker with Snowy. Snowy is here daring Monster Kid to enter the bunker, but he doesn't want to. Or maybe he doesn't want Snowy to open the bunker yet. Of course, we see them at chapter 4 on the church, But what happened to them at the festival? Why aren't they here? I think that Monster Kid was a disguised goner all this time, just like the clam. That's why we never see neither of them again. And how are we that sure that they are this evil? Well, thanks to the rulings on the egg room. So far, most of the Darkners that cared about Chris came from Chapter 3, 5, and the Eggman. I will talk about Mew Mew and the cats in another video, but the rulings in Man Country say something chilling about the Grey people.
Puppies are monochrome, but you colored each of us in with care. Maybe the pink case was suspicious.
Goners are like doppelgangers, or maybe like resin minifigures. They come to this world bland and featureless, just the overall silhouette of what they should be, until someone paints them with care, until their creator painted them. This may draw a different picture of Gaster, but don't be fooled. The Goners are no Darkners. These are meant to be copies of Lightners, of people. Another ruling also warns us of the Goners' grim nature. The ruling at the spyglass shows Chris a grey landscape.
I'm trying to see as far as I can, but it doesn't look too good. Talk about lousy real estate. I sense nothing but evil from that place.
If these rulings are also grey, why would they refer to something that's also grey as evil? They are not the same thing. They are Darkners, objects. They're trying to warn Lightworld Chris to be wary of grey places and grey monsters, thus they may try to change their colors to go unnoticed, just as the clam guy did. That they're dangerous, that they came from a grey place, that they went after Onion, and probably Snowy too. And unfortunately, if we follow the weird route, Noel ends up leading us to this grey place, the evil place where Onion disappeared. We forced Chris to follow Noel. The 7 Aces of Man Country were trying to warn us. All of this according to Big G's plan. One last thing about the fun values that I think it's worth mentioning. It's what happens when we get fun value 65. If we go upwards on this crossroad on Snowdin, and Papyrus has been defeated, there is a 50% chance for a hidden zone test to appear. The menu itself contains 3 very short looping tracks, and a longer track that, once picked, cannot be deselected. I bet you know where I'm going with this. We have Happy Town, Meat Factory, Travel Dingle, and a longer one that's just called Gaster's Theme. Everyone knows this, but now there are some similarities between these 4 tracks and the events of the beginning of Chapter 5. Happy Town might just be referencing the song playing at the festival. But Travel Dingle, it's pretty much the Weird Route Jingle, the extended version. And the Gaster theme sounds an awful lot to the song playing at the lake when Noel goes crazy. What I'm saying here is that these tracks match the events of Chapter 5's Weird Route, but what about Meat Factory? But after seeing what happened to Onion, that name begins to have a lot of sense. Anyways, that might be it for today. I hope you liked the video, guys, and if that's the case, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. I appreciate that a lot. With the Goners now covered, I think we need to talk about Dr. G's agents on the Dark World, and why we need to wear protection against cats. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.